And it says we're live.
Yeah, lies.
Do your thing.
Let's get this out of the way. Kortnee's in the house, as is Sanford. Okay. If you want to donate to the Club the Baby Trolls Fund, send funds here. Trolls will be clubbed for a profit. If you like coffee, talk to these guys, King Harv's. Good guys, make good coffee. Tell them when you order it, let them know you heard about it here, so maybe they'll send us some more coffee because
we like it.
Jim is grouchy without coffee.
Jim is also grouchy because I burned my mouth this morning taking a deep sip of coffee when I wasn't expecting it to be that hot.
So that's your excuse for today.
Yes.
One of them.
And yes.
Slow mode means that you can only comment once every 15 seconds.
I have done everything I can to lock this down so that we do not have a repeat of Thursday. For those of you that were not here, we got spammed and botted on Thursday.
Bad, pretty bad.
And it was racist.
Horseshit.
Yeah, somebody was trying to take the channel down.
Yeah, and it was at least two meat space with a whole bunch of bots because they were posting and replying faster than human type.
Yep.
But a couple of them reacted to at least one reacted to something I said.
Well, two of them did.
Yeah. There was one that asked if we ever read the chat. And when we said yes, and then somebody else popped in and we were smacking down racist trolls. And I said that Jim and I were both veterans. Don't do this. And so he said, I'm a veteran too, bitch. Yeah. So they were reacting. At least two of them were actual people.
Yeah. So yes, the chat is locked down. It's subscriber only now. And there are moderators, and we're also on a 15-second delay to try to keep from having to take this one down completely.
Right. And basically, it turns out that what these little ass wipes are doing is they get into the they basically pick somebody. I don't think it was targeted. I think they were banging around looking for an open chat. And what they do is they get on there and they fill the chat full of racist comments and hate words. So it'll trip YouTube's algorithm and get the channel shut down.
Yeah.
So,
which is kind of interesting considering that comments were already being moderated by YouTube in the chat last week for certain keywords, but they let all that crap come through.
Well, I noticed that there were a lot of odd on the Heil Hitlers that they were posting.
Yeah.
They were using alt characters for the H's. And Cedar, I was talking to Cedar, and she said, and she made a good point. It's the same mindset of people that go around bashing in mailboxes and breaking windows. It's not. I don't think necessarily targeted us. It's just they're little nihilistic ass wipes that just want to wreck something.
Well, I'm not sure.
I don't turn down the possibility that it wasn't targeted.
Yeah,
but cock up before conspiracy.
Yeah, they're vandals. Yeah. So, yes, I've made a few folks moderators, standard moderators in the chat. So,
and the 15 seconds in between comments, which everybody's on 15 seconds between,
including us,
gives the moderators a chance to kneecap the little bastard before he gets more than one comment out.
Yeah. Yeah, good point, Wally. Never attribute to malice what can be accounted for by stupidity.
Cock up before conspiracy.
Yeah.
Speaking
of conspiracies,
I was just thinking that would make a good plot for a science fiction short story about future social media and the vandalism on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's only paranoid if they're not actually out to get you. Yeah. You do have a point there.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
We are getting something of a name, and we are conservative, and also as an amateur student of history,
Here
the,
we go.
the sheer amount of anti-Semitism that's cropping up is neither shocking nor surprising to me, but apparently it shocked a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah. The other thing that's interesting is now there are open questions about who knew what was happening and what Hamas was planning ahead of time because of the embedded quote unquote journalists
Oh,
who
that part.
accompanied Hamas,
Yeah.
at least one of whom was seen with a hand grenade.
Yeah.
And
Proudly carrying a hand grenade.
none of the four that I'm aware of actually had any press markings whatsoever on them.
No.
So,
And to give mainstream media their due, and if y'all know me, that this is really hard to do. These guys were stringers. Stringers turn in occasional stuff, occasionally lucky with a picture. They weren't salaried journalists. They were stringers, which
So they're only attempting to learn to be evil.
right.
yeah. Well, everybody, yeah, good point, Steph. Everybody except the New York Times disavowed the hand grenade guy. New York Times has not.
Well, that's
But the real question,
New York Slimes is
and I put a post up today on this, including the Israelis want to know who knew what when. And yes, Elvis Duck is in the building.
Kortnee brought ducks from Las Vegas. Oh,
Yeah.
I love the eyelashes on this one. Ducks with eyelashes. This is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Jay Totten's new book. He's seen a slowdown.
Yeah.
And I told him not to worry about it, that it was in November, everybody's saving up for Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving travel, and then Black Friday, and not to spaz out about the November slowdown.
Yeah.
But he's a new baby author. Show him some love.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Oh. Well, let's see. Kortnee is back from
She is.
20 books to 50. Wally was also there. Wally was good enough to give Kortnee a ride up and back.
And Kortnee, her brain is full. Apparently she had a good time.
My to-do list covers 2 walls.
And half of them Chippendales? No, I'm married.
Oh, that's interesting, Kermit. Apparently YouTube decided to unsubscribe and resubscribe differs. That's
No, she's right there.
interesting. It warned me that if I comment, people will know I'm subscribed to the channel. So that's interesting. Did John ever return those dancers? I don't know, Kortnee.
She left them where she found them.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except this year's con crud, apparently.
Yeah.
If you were at 20 books, and apparently if you didn't catch a con crud, Kortnee, you were one of the lucky ones. Apparently this year's Vegas crud was vicious.
Yep.
I sprained a vocal cord. I think I'm immune from conflict at this point.
Near as I can tell, Kortnee and John are about the only ones who didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Craig didn't catch it.
Who didn't?
Craig, the guy who runs it, didn't catch it. So we're all exhausted.
Well,
But
yes.
that's not con crud. That's just, oh my God, a week in Vegas.
People.
Yeah. Larry took a hit.
Larry
Mike
Rick-
Rothman,
Took a
Dave
hit.
Weber.
The Webbers, the Correas.
Yeah.
A lot of folks took hits.
Uh,
And yeah, Chippendale antivirals. Is there something we need to know about?
I say nothing.
Okay.
You guys don't want to know about.
No, I
those
don't.
kinds of things.
Nope, I'm
No.
good. Nope, I'm good.
Having heard females talk amongst themselves, no.
Then why do you ask?
I didn't. He did.
Um,
Yes, the U.S. Jim Butcher Cinder's book is out.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yes.
outstanding. Cinder
And
Spires. Good
he
series.
better write at least 2 more because there are so damn many things left hanging in this last one that
Oh, he doesn't do one-offs. He does series.
he definitely needs to write more in that series quickly.
Well, it's
I read the son of a bitch. It's like, okay, what happened to this one? What happened to this one? What happened to that one?
I like Jim Butcher's Dresden Files, especially the later ones when he was developed, when his craft matured.
Yeah.
The early first 4 books are a little iffy, still good, little iffy, but man, he got good later on. The Alara series was great. I like the Alara series probably better. I like the Dresden series, and the Cinder Spires is fantastic.
Yeah, Cinder Spires is excellent.
What I don't understand is why the Alara series doesn't get more love. I mean,
I don't either.
I don't know.
I really don't.
Probably because it was such a departure from the Dresden series.
I mean, anybody who can make Pokemon into a usable story.
Right. Pokemon, the Lost Roman Legion. It's like,
Yeah.
Wow.
And Kortnee has a book out.
Oh yeah, I released the book last Friday.
Would you come talk about that, please?
The
Seriously?
Aliens Christmas Kiss is live.
Aliens Christmas gift kiss.
Aliens Christmas Kiss is live.
It's live.
This year's Christmas story for my Alien Bride series.
Okay.
So it's a short story-ish, longer short story. Not quite novella length, like 100-word short novella, so it's a short story.
Buy Courtney's book.
Yeah.
Or short story.
Kortnee also got a new super fan last week.
I did.
Oh.
Molly's wonderful, lovely wife, Michelle, had read the first book in the Alien Bride series and asked if there were more. And I said, yes, and I have them with me. And she read through book 2 and book 3 while we were in Vegas and on the trip home. And she went home with the rest of the books. So
All right.
Outstanding.
she liked them a lot. And
Good.
See?
So it was a very wonderful trip. And yes, it's under the C.V. Walter pen name.
C.V. Walter.
Yep.
So where the bot's at? Apparently kneecapped. So
Oh, James, that's great news. For those of you that don't know, James Copley is a member of the VFW out where he lives, and found what they thought was just a mock-up of a round for a gun.
this sort of story, this start that way, never end up right.
Well, it turns out, yes, it was a mock-up. It's actually a dummy round.
Okay.
So it has all the right pieces. So James restored it, including redoing the wood on it and hours and hours and hours of polishing the metal pieces.
Oh, well done, James.
And then had to go in and repolish the metal pieces and wax them to keep them because they're steel.
That's a lot of brasso. Oh, that's a lot of brasso.
Yeah, from corroding again.
I'm pretty
So
sure
he's
it
going to
looks-
go hang it at the VFW today.
I've seen pictures of it he's put online, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that it looks better than the original.
Oh, hell yes. I guarantee that.
Probably. Yeah. The smell of Johnson's floor wax and brasso is will always be connected to basic training in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Johnson's paste wax for floors, brasso.
Getting down on your hands and knees and waxing that friggin' floor.
Watching the idiot try to ride the buffer.
Riding the buffer.
We never got the buffer in basic.
Oh, we did.
We had to do it by hand.
I
No,
didn't have the buffer in basic. I didn't have wood floors in basic.
Yeah.
AIT, on the other hand,
We had the big
30 hours. It's how
Dorm.
much it took him to get that thing done.
the dorm,
the one left over from World War II, yes.
and we only had time. The only people that actually had time to do it were Firewatch. So also there was a long time before the sound of a buffer bouncing off the bunk leg would wake me up again, because it got to where the bouncing the buffer off the I'd roll over and go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Even if it was your bunk.
If even my bunk, wham.
Oh, thank you, Differ.
Oh, and Kiwi. Oh, Kiwi.
Yeah.
By the time my 16 time my basic training was done, I could run a buffer half asleep with one hand.
Yeah. That's what Greg was just talking about.
Oh yeah.
He was cheating because his father owned a commercial cleaning company, so he had lots of practice. Sorry, Tom. It's not on our end for a change.
Not this time.
Yeah.
What I remember is all the people that used different methods to try and get a spit shine. People that used lighter fluid on their boots.
Lighter fluid, or set the boots on fire.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
the simplest way: cotton swab, water, and
hours and
Hours and hours and hours. Yeah.
everyone was always looking for a faster way to do it. And they were doing stuff that was wrecking their boots.
Yeah.
As long as they look good, they didn't care.
Yeah. And Navy boondockers were rough anyway. So trying to get those things to shine, that was hours and hours and hours of work for very little progress.
I miss the old black Army
Combat boots.
combat boots. I wish I could find a pair now.
Oh yeah, Bill. The Marine quote unquote barracks, Quonset huts up on the hill at Cuby. I remember those well because we got stuck up there one time. We came in on a debt and the Navy barracks was full, and they kicked us up the hill with the Marines. And all the Marines were looking at us going, "Who the fuck are you and what are you doing in our building?" Yeah, we're Navy air crew and this is the only place left. Well, yeah, you get in our building. Where the hell are we supposed to sleep? Well, go over to that one over in the far corner. And we went in there. I swear to God, nobody had been in that thing since World War II.
Except the bugs and the spiders.
Yeah. And the flying cockroaches about that long. That was an interesting night's lack of sleep.
So what else we got? Anybody else got books coming out?
I'm working on mine, but I'm not. I may put out a book of short stories prior to Christmas because I'm not going to have my novel finished because I'm too far behind.
Well, Cedar has a novella that she's working on this weekend, is Flying Out of Her Fingertips.
Yep.
The only thing about it is, right now she's claiming that it's a novella. It started out she claiming it was a short story. Now she's claiming it's a novella. By Friday, I'm figuring it'll be a full-fledged novel. And by Monday, I figure it'll be a series.
Yeah.
Frida's doing the same thing. She started out as short story, and she started November 1 as part of the nano what the hell ever. And she set herself the goal of 2,000 words a day. And she gets annoyed. She's locked in on this. It's her little ADHD is locked in on 2,000 words, and she's done more than 2,000 words every day. So and I'm teasing her because I'm X number of words. Oh, novelette, no short story, novelette, novella.
Yeah.
Every time I just keep upping. It'll be a novel time she's done.
Yeah. DA is hoping to get as Texas in the Med out by the end of the year. That's a good series too. You're holding out on us. Bill sent you stuff.
He did. And I just blanked on it. It was really good too. Yeah. Anyway, so Rita's writing that, and she keeps calling it her trash work because everybody knows that Rita's not only an English major but an English professor, right? She's pantsing it, and she has no idea where it's going. She just sits down and writes 2,000 words, and it's driving her nuts. And it's a really good story. It really is. So she doesn't think it'll go anywhere. I think she's mistaken, but that's just me.
Just out of curiosity, when you speak to her when she's in the throes of writing, do the axes fly, or is that just Cedar?
It depends. If she's in the middle of dialogue, which she hates.
Take care, Bill.
If she's typing dialogue, She didn't hear a word I said. She just nods.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
if she's sitting there pondering the next step, and I interrupt the middle flow, yeah,
Hey, David.
Girls are living with a writer.
it's
Cedar says, I don't get angry. I just don't hear you.
It's Rita, Rita
What?
does that.
Well, since I'm already deaf to start with, that gives me an advantage.
I was laughing because she's doing a lot of her writing up here because it's quiet, no dogs to pester her, and less stimulus. She's a lot like me. Outside stimuli breaks into her writing trance, for lack of a better word. And I came up here. I don't think the little thing I was here the entire time. She's pounding away. It's like, hey, baby.
Yeah. Yes, selective hearing. And we all have it, male and female, whether you want to admit it or not.
Oh, yeah.
And that also includes the selective hearing of what you think was said.
Well, when she's got her creative brain engaged, and much like me, once the creative brain is engaged and I can tune out the distractions, I don't hear much.
Yeah.
And which one of the reasons why it's so hard for me to do is my permanent on state is aware of everything. So once I can get that turned off and actually write,
Yeah.
I don't know anything else. What? Somebody was here. What day is it?
Yeah.
Have I had a bath?
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Why am I hungry?
Mainly because it's 7 o'clock at night and you started writing at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Or that one time I started writing at noon on Friday and surfaced sometime Monday morning.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out why I was so sleepy.
Yeah. Selective hearing and interpretive hearing are distinct but related. Yes. Oh, Padre, that's no fun. Coworker with high filters, and she can only respond to what she thought you said, not what you actually said. Yeah,
When I get into
those never end
when
well.
I get into writing really
Isn't that
good,
most people?
when I can get into a really good
No.
writing trance, which I haven't done in several years, I zone out hard.
Yeah,
They're kind of fun, but also I usually have a bit of a panic when I realize how long I've been vulnerable and not aware of my surroundings.
Yeah.
What?
Tom asked, since she's an English person, does she love or hate Kate Turbine?
I don't know.
What's a Kate turbine?
Don't even know who that is.
Hey, we have a Jonna. Not on the Jonna. Huh. Hey, Jonna. So, no, it's the Troublemakers subscribed.
I guess.
Huh.
Okay.
We learn new stuff every day.
Speaking of which, James, if you want to put a picture of your dummy round over in North Texas Troublemakers, that'll give everybody a way to look at it.
Jonna's account is restricted to kid-only content.
Huh?
Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, somebody thinks you're young at heart. So
12 times what?
don't get me lying. I ain't going there. Let's see here. So Jim Totten's book, C.V. Walter's short story.
Yep.
Cedar and Rita are working on stuff.
Dave Brock's working on stuff.
D.A. Brock's working on stuff.
Daniel's working on stuff. We're all working on stuff.
Not all of us. I haven't been able to write anything since I got married.
I'm trying to get back to writing, but damn, it's hard.
Yeah. No, you just got to sit in front of the computer. And,
I'm sort of a little worried that I've either had a micro stroke or the events of 2020 to 2022 screwed with my writing ability.
yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Mail. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Pinup Noir 3 is out. Or the call for Pinup Noir 3 is out. or open or whatever you want to call it.
Send stories.
Yeah. Dave Brock is working on stuff. The style manual for research papers. Oh, Tom, not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. And Greg's working on stuff.
Wally's working on stuff.
So everybody's working on stuff. We just need to get more of it finished and into books and out for the public. And Kortnee says the key to writing is to sit at the keyboard and bleed. Yeah. Not necessarily agree with the bleeding part, but yes, you got to sit at the keyboard.
Yeah,
Thanks, James.
I sit at the keyboard and I've been writing intros, my latest intros for the second Sparkle. And my God, my writing is dull and boring right now. It's definitely not Law Dog. I don't know what the hell. It's not Law Dog.
Yeah, he'll come back.
I hope so. Okay. Okay, let's see. What else we got here? And I'm rocking the chair again. Jonna's gonna shake her finger at me.
Shauna's gonna reach through the computer and slap you.
Yeah, no kidding. Elvis Ducks. Books coming out. What else we got?
Well, we haven't gotten hit by the
bot swarm didn't show up.
bot swarm today yet.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure that those last wipes were just they were looking around, found an open channel. And
Yeah, maybe. Oh, 50,000 words. You're doing better than I am, James. Peter Nealon's latest pallet drops on the 21st. Yeah.
speaking of, I will be on Peter Nealon's live stream, which ought to be fun. I have no idea what to expect. Pete's a good guy. I've known Mike Coopery for a while, and Coop Lopresto. I've heard the name on the internet, but I don't actually know him. So this should be interesting. And apparently it goes for a couple hours. So if you guys want, I'm gonna be me. So
Friday at 6 o'clock.
is it 6 or 8?
I think it's 6 o'clock his time, 8 o'clock your time.
He's in Montana. It's the same time as we are.
No, it's not.
Montana isn't?
No.
Okay.
You better check that.
I better check that. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec, guys. What the hell was that? There's something I need to know about?
I may have gotten a toy.
Oh dear.
We don't really need to know about this. Is a PG friendly.
8 o'clock CST. Oh my God. I love it already.
Kortnee.
My favorite thing from Vegas.
8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So
There you
that's and it's a live stream. So
It's on Facebook too.
is it on Facebook?
Yeah.
It'll be freeform and it'll be me. So and I will probably be a little nervous and probably have to be at least one cocktail deep. So
Friday, Ben.
Friday the 17th at 8 o'clock Central Time.
Put a link in the North Texas Troublemakers page.
Okay.
Put the male stripper down. That's Kortnee.
Yeah, it's me. I'm going to be a little nervous because I don't know exactly what I'm walking into, which always makes me nervous. But apparently, it tends towards war and politics and that sort of thing. So I have my my thoughts and views on those subjects. So
Oh, really? I never would have guessed.
never guessed.
Yeah.
Return
the
the Chippendale to his original position. So
My new favorite button.
That
So-
one's gonna get some play.
So I will put
So I know
a
what to get you for Christmas, a case of batteries.
Uh-huh. It takes AAA batteries.
okay. Moving on. Let's see. So if those of you who don't know Peter Nealon's a Forest Recon Marine. Went downrange both with Marine Corps and as a contractor.
Yep.
Writes some really good military fiction and military sci-fi. And I like him. He's a good guy. I haven't met him yet. I've corresponded with him, and I sent him a story for his Spot Reps anthology, which he used.
Oh, Peter, our Padre. One of his friends in seminary worked stripping floors with buffers. Always claimed he worked as a stripper going through seminary. Ow. I'll bet that's an interesting sermon on occasions.
Catholic Padres always have the most interesting stories of the time they went through seminary. Peter Grant's the same way. You ought to
Yeah.
hear. I'm not sure how the seminarians survived some of these guys going into the seminary.
Yeah, Peter Nealon 8223. Thank you, Ag. All right, Tiffany. Make sure you get it in. It means write faster.
So we'll be doing that. Should be interesting. I'll put up a link on Rackender Press on North Texas on my personal Facebook channel.
Yeah.
What else we got? We had some other stuff coming. We are shut down for the convention season till 2024. So maybe everybody can take a deep breath and not people for a while. Very important not to people. We are discovering this. The ladies get kind of once they're done peopling.
Well, and speaking of peopling, the next North Texas Troublemakers group
Oh
dinner
yes.
will be the last weekend in January. And yeah, icky people. What we're trying to do is slot it before the weather gets bad.
So we're doing the last weekend in January.
Yeah.
Before the weather gets bad.
Yeah. Well, it's normally goes to crap around here in February and March.
Okay.
So
This is not going to be a normal year. Haven't been a normal year so far.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Jay. Hey. So Jim's on here. If you're interested in his books, ping him.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And Sanford's back. Let's see here.
yeah, Padre, you're more or less not typical anyway, but I'm not going to say anything.
That pretty much goes for everybody who knows us.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Most of the people we are friends with just ain't right. And that's okay. We like
Most.
that. Well, there's a couple of normies that snuck in there somewhere.
Ooh,
I don't know, but I'm sure it must be at least one.
yeah. Yeah.
Eh,
Cats, when they're done peopling, they get sharp and hissy. It's like called catty for a reason. True that. Yes.
Oh,
And the peanut gallery comments.
now we have an electronic peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Go us.
Best toy ever.
Normal is a setting on the washing machine. Yep.
in a city in Illinois.
Yeah.
The speaking of normies, friend of ours, friend of mine from way back, Wayne Wisnand, his little wife was in Sam's the other day. Yes,
You have to understand, literally.
5 foot tall. She's 5 foot tall on a good day.
Hey, Richard,
So
you missed a bunch.
So she's in Sam's and she was using her Sam's app on her phone because the line was too long. She's using her Sam's app on the phone to pay for everything. And a Sam's Club employee or contractor or something who was trying to sell her something was making an explanation and reached up grabbed her phone and turned around so he could access her phone.
Oh,
And she hauled off and slapped had to reach up because she's 5 foot and slapped the shit out of him. Good. The manager came running out to tell her she couldn't do that. Don't touch people. Just don't touch people without permission. Don't touch her stuff. Don't touch them. I don't know what's so hard for people to understand about that.
I don't know.
He thought it was perfectly acceptable to reach up to a woman holding a phone, grab her hand and turn the phone around so he could access the phone. It's a cell phone. For better or worse, the modern American has their entire life stored in here. So this asswipe just turns it around so he can access it. Then yes, no, boo, kiss my ass, may I? And she hauled off and slapped the crap out of him, which is good. And everybody's been telling her, and her friends where she works have been telling her she's in trouble and she can't do that.
Bullshit.
I beg to differ. That needs to happen more often.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell. Well, and the fact she was female and tiny,
Yeah,
probably had a great deal to do with it. He wouldn't have done that to me or any other male. But if he had,
I'd like to see him try it with me.
I'd hit him with a planet.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
But a woman will do it to you.
Well, this is a rant I've had many times on the difference in societal expectations between female conduct and male conduct, and why that's both a good thing and a bad thing. If a random female turned my phone around, I'd snatch my hand back because of societal expectations. Random man does that, and I'm going to hit him with a planet. And I think that this is one, maybe not the main thing, but one of the reasons for increased assault on transsexuals is, and I'm not excusing it, but I think that if you are raised for 12 or 16 years with the societal expectations of a female in your position, and you have decided that all of a sudden you're male, there are rules.
Yeah.
There are very strong rules. Ask if you are male or have a male in your life. Ask about the urinal rule. There are rules for using urinals. We were never told them. Nobody ever taught us how to use a urinal, but we know what the rules are.
Yeah.
And breaking the rules, don't. That'll get you smacked. I think if you are female and you don't, and the urinal rule is one of hundreds, if not thousands, of little social mores that men have adopted by osmosis.
Yeah.
That women don't ever have to think about. There are rules. The way that men process social interactions, the way women process social interactions are totally different.
Oh yeah.
And men, there's something called a disciplinary beatdown. In male,
No, she's not in trouble flipping.
no. You see this a lot in less than tasteful cultures. Male on male interactions, you get warned if you're violating a more, and if you continue to violate it, you catch a beatdown. If you are female and don't know the rules and can't recognize the warning when you see it, women can get away with. A strange woman can walk up and touch my arm. Notice I didn't. He's a friend of mine. I didn't touch him. A strange woman can walk up in public and touch my arm. A strange man cannot. Don't do that. If you've been raised female and been allowed to touch strange men without catching a smack, and then suddenly decide you're male and don't realize what the rules are, do something like this. Don't realize that you have been warned not to do it. Continue to do it and catch a beat down. Not saying it's right, but if I smack a guy, And a smack to a guy, and trust me, if I smack a guy in warning, that's a bruise and shit, I won't do that again. If I do the same thing to a female, I'll break her in half.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's not on the this female male transsexual was beaten to death. Obviously, it's a hate crime. Could be, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But it also could be she violated a rule, got corrected, couldn't recognize a correction, and caught a disciplinary beatdown.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom makes a point. Germans will try to talk to you while you're taking a piss.
No kidding.
Yeah. That's just the mores and morals that we have here in the United States are not replicated in other countries. You have to remember that when you go overseas.
And you sometimes violate their mores and morals without knowing it because you don't have the background.
And you catch a disciplinary beatdown.
Yeah, I still remember read when we were in Thailand, because one of the benefits of the hut mama sons were that they got to take a shower and clean up. Well, not all the hut mama sons were old ladies. And we had just landed in Thailand for the first time with him on the crew. And, we were going to clean up, go over to the club, get something to eat. And he comes screaming back down the passageway to the cube that we were in. He goes, "There's naked women in the shower." So, but they're naked women. This is Thailand. They get to take a shower. Just ignore them. But how can I ignore? They're pretty. Just friggin' ignore them. Poor kid had a lot to learn.
Well,
Boy, did he learn on that deployment.
What you started with this was her slapping the guy for grabbing her phone.
Yeah.
And one of the things that a lot of the transsexuals, especially female to male, may not realize is if you punch a guy, okay, it's a problem, but it's reasonable. If you slap a guy as a guy, that's mortal insult.
Yeah, that's an insult. Guys don't slap guys because it's not just it's
disrespect.
It's an act of contempt.
Yeah.
Whoo.
Well, sometimes it's appropriate.
Yeah, but you have to be ready to back it up when you start it.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, from what I've seen in X number of decades in law enforcement, if it's appropriate for a guy to slap a guy, it's best to hit him in the solar plexus.
Yeah.
If a woman slaps me, I'm not going to slap back. I'll back up. If a man slaps me, we're going at it.
Yeah.
And that could be another thing. If you're used to being able to slap somebody as a woman, and then you present as a man, slap somebody, and get shocked because you just took an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Probably
slap,
maybe fatal ass whooping.
Yeah, and Ag brings up a good point. A slap is the old duel challenge to a duel back in the day. And that's how you start a duel.
One of the worst beatings. Drunk rednecks. Cowboys in a bar. If you really want an interesting look at a certain segment of the American population and their social dynamics, cowboy bars, redneck bars is very, very, especially in the West and the South, with a high trust, high honor society, which the West and South, for the moment, it's a high trust, high honor society. The rules are, especially for me, and rodeo after the dance after rodeo, the rules are quite clear, and everybody they don't know how they understand them, but everybody understands what the rules at a rodeo dance are. And watching the disciplinary beatdowns for violating the rules is interesting.
Oh yeah,
I've had to pepper spray a bunch of them.
Take the lead shot out of the glove first, or take your fist out of the glove before you slap the guy with it. Yeah. Either or.
There was a one of the rules. Good friend of mine, his ex-wife, violated a rule, and I sat there. She had no clue what she did. If she had been a guy, I'd have killed him. we went to visit his house. It was Jim and me and Rita and a bunch of other people. And in front of Rita, this guy's now ex-wife picked up my cowboy hat because I don't wear my cowboy hat indoors.
Yeah.
I had it
remember that.
on. I had it somewhere. She picked it up and put it on.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And
You went into a high friggin' hover.
the thing is in West Texas culture, if a woman picks up a guy's hat and puts it on while looking at him, that's an invitation to
Rodeo.
rodeo's good. That's an invitation to go back and knock boots. And she did it in front of her husband. And it's like, and in front of Rita, and it's like, oh my God, holy shit.
You did not know which way to look
I didn't. It's like
and which way to jump.
you know, this is a longtime childhood fan of my blog and has turned into a good friend, and I'm going to have to fight him because his wife is making sexual advances towards me. Rita is going to kill the wife for making sexual advances towards me. Then I'm going to have to fight him because Rita just killed. It's like, whoo!
Or as Rich says, sell tickets.
Oh. And men do not touch men's hats. There was a guy, it was at a rodeo dance, and my partner had a really nice Stetson straw hat.
Yeah.
And we had just arrested somebody, and it was a nothing arrest. And one of his ranch buddies, one of his ranch mates, walked up and slapped the hat off of my partner's head.
Oh.
And
things went rodeo.
that was a little excessive. And he, I thought, well, here we go for police brutality because there was an ass whooping dealt out. And the sheriff said, nope, everybody understands. Everybody will understand. And they did.
Yeah.
I mean, he got the guy that slapped the hat off of my partner, Frank's head. He got his kidneys tuned up. And I finally pulled Frank off of him. And it's like, well, shit, Frank's fired. And the sheriff said, no, everybody's, what are you worried about? Everybody's going to understand that. I didn't. He was right. It's like the ranch manager showed up and apologized on behalf of his cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
For what he did. Said he was drunk. I know it's no, but we are so sorry. It's like, I don't understand.
Raptor, if you want a good Stetson, go to a reputable hattery to get it. Don't try to buy one off the internet.
Oh, buying Stetsons off the internet. You can buy them from the Stetson place. Hello. You can buy them from the Stetson site, but quite honestly, you need to go to somewhere with the little old guy or
Little old woman.
little old woman that can shape it to your head.
Yeah.
It needs to be shaped. It needs. Jim and I are Texans. We're Westerners. I don't have a single hat anywhere that is as it came out of the box.
Yeah.
Every hat I have has been customized. Every one of Jim's. He'll buy a hat, and the first thing he has him do is trim how much off the brim?
Depending on the brim, anywhere from 3/4 to an inch.
Every one of them.
Because I don't like it looking like a, friggin' out to here. I'm not trying to take a siesta under the damn thing.
It's got to be fitted to your face. Miss Stanley at Husky Hat Company is, and she will teach you. She'll ask you if you ever worn a hat before.
Yeah,
and she will teach you how to take it off, because there is a way you take a hat off. It says a cowboy hat off. And she gets really, she says, I don't want to have to fix this in a year unless I have to.
Yeah.
So this is the way you're going to take it off. And it's like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and all hats have to be
you don't grab
reblocked.
the rim and pull it forward?
No, God, no. No, no, Linda, I do not wear a sombrero.
And you'll notice mine's a pinch front, which is kind of weird for Texas.
Yeah.
Most folks in Texas have a cattleman crease, which is the double down the side.
Yeah.
I wear a pinch front because it suits my face.
Got to be different.
Well, also suits my face.
Yeah.
Oh, and Miss Stanley was the one that turned me on to pinch fronts.
Yeah.
She said, boy, you don't need to wear a cattleman. You need something like this. I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Those of us that are Easterners and wear hats have had to learn this through trial and error.
Oh, Miss Stanley's. Everybody in North Texas, if you work on a ranch, your first hat comes from a Husky hat company in Miss Stanley.
Yeah.
And she's been shaping hats for
Over 50 years.
Yeah.
That she admits to.
yeah, right.
When the company got bought out, a company bought Husky hats with the requirement that she had to stay there.
She had to stay there. That's just, and I personally, it's Husky will order the hat. I'll find a hat I like on the Stetson site, and I will go to Husky, and it costs a little more. But when it gets there, Miss Stanley will be hanging on to it until, if I get there, she's not there, they won't give me the hat.
Yeah.
Because Miss Stanley wants to make sure it fits right, because it's comes from Husky hats. So she's not going to have somebody wearing a stupid hat. It's like, yes, ma'am.
My favorite hunting caliber, I'm an old fart, 30-06. It'll bring down just about anything I need to hunt. And it's always about accuracy. The BS about, well, if you go bigger, you get a one-shot stop. No, that's not necessarily true. It's not true in pistols. It's not true in rifles. The only place it might be true is in 16-inch guns.
Even then, no. Okay, the way you take off a hat, because Miss Stanley is beating this into me. Wearing a hat, the way you take it off is you grab the brim or the top right
Yeah.
here, you lean forward, and it comes right off. If you grab up here, she has to reblock it. She gets irritated.
Yeah. Also, it gets stained.
Yes. Favorite caliber, 7mm 8 and 30-30. 7mm 8 is basically the Americanized version of my beloved 7x57. It's a good. It's what Gunsmith Joe refers to. He says he has this thing about polite calibers. 30-06 is a polite caliber. A polite caliber is something that doesn't insult you when you fire it by breaking your shoulder or horsing you around, and thus you'll practice with it. And if you practice with it, you can actually hit what you're aiming at.
Yeah.
So he's got a list of polite calibers.
I assume 308's one of them.
308's one of them. He's not a big fan of the great huge stuff because nobody ever shoots it.
Yeah.
And when you don't shoot it, that's how you wind up hitting your line in the back foot instead of in the boiler room.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I saw that meme with a grand chambered and 458 Magnum. No.
Yeah,
Just
that
friggin'
was
no.
Puffin Industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Interesting? No.
For something to hang on the wall and talk about, maybe.
Well, it's like a gunsmith that I know down in Central Texas who builds a lot of Ruger #1s and 375 H&H and larger for Africa hunters. But they make him sight them in.
Because it's not a polite gun.
And, you know, I asked him, I said, why do you keep doing it? He says, well, they pay me a lot of money. And he said, I get it sighted in. He said, it ain't up to me whether or not they hit the fucking target.
The other one's got to deal with a
Yeah.
mad Cape buffalo or a wounded hippo.
Yeah. And he said, a lot of them, the first time they ever fire it's in live action at an animal.
Yeah.
If you're going to shoot Cape buffalo or hippos, my suggested caliber is 155.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's polite.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. One hit quits are very rare.
Yes, they are. Well, we've had a couple. I mean,
Yeah.
on Texas whitetail, which quite honestly, Texas whitetails, they're getting bigger, but they're not like the Missouri breaks whitetails. They're 80 pounds.
Yeah. And you get the muley crosses out West Texas. And those things, if you don't hit them just right and get them in the boiler room or
Break the shoulders.
break the shoulders, they can run for miles. And if you've seen West Texas, and the
on,
landscape out there.
stand on tuna can and watch your dog run away for 3 days.
Yeah. Or if you're in arroyo country,
Oh Lord.
trying to figure out which friggin' arroyo that son of a bitch went in.
Richard Hopkins, I forget which one is recommended for T-Rex. According to the Marlin website, it's the Marlin 1895 and 4570, which is still recommended for T-Rex according to the Marlin website.
What's the big African round?
Which one? 505 Gibbs?
And now
600 Nitro Express? 700 Nitro Express now.
Yeah.
Stupid.
600 Nitro Express
Stupid.
double barrel. Oh.
Stupid.
You know, if you didn't break your shoulder with the first round, you're going to break it with the second one. But it all comes down to accuracy and practice.
Yeah.
And very few people do.
If you can tag a lion or a hippo through the heart, well, Caramojo Bell, the 7x57 is not exactly elephant gun.
Yeah.
He used a 7x57 with solids to brain shoot over 100 elephants.
Yeah.
A ridiculous number of elephants, because he knew he popped them to the brain every time.
Well, he studied exactly how to hit them.
And he was a cool. He had ice water in his veins.
Yeah.
And it was a cool shot. And so he'd pop them to the brain bucket every time. So 7x57, it's not elephant caliber unless you're Caramojo Bell.
Or Kelly shooting deer with a 17 HMR.
A hog's a 17 HMR.
Yes, and hogs with 17 HMR.
He's braining. I can't do it. Kelly he's cool under pressure, and he can put a 17 rimfire through a Texas hog through its brain bucket every time.
Yeah.
And I can't do that.
When I was a kid and we slaughtered pigs,
Yeah.
we used 22 short.
Yeah.
But you were right there. You put it just between the eyes and you popped it. And it was no big deal. Trying to take down a feral hog with a 22 seems to me to be a recipe for frustration.
I've shot a feral boar with a 30-30
Mhm.
and it bounced right off here.
I remember Law Dog's story about shooting a 9mm into
9mm, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't even get through the crown shield. No. And I've got an AR-10 that will probably be my hog gun, because it's a heavy Daniel Defense AR-10, which means I can dump multiple rounds. And when we go hog hunting, that's probably the one I'm going to use.
Yeah. I'll go with a Scar 17 heavy suppressed. Yes, they are talking about pulling all the 105s off the AC 130s. And somewhere in the last couple of years, they changed the name from what it used to be, which was Spectre, is now changed to Ghost Rider, which
Nicolas
I don't know.
Cage was popular.
Huh?
Nicolas Cage was popular.
Well, they stole our friggin' call sign from back in the 70s. Assholes.
What else we got?
Yeah, it'll cost big bucks to re-engineer the fuselage, re-engineer the fuselage and do all the weight and balance. And that will make the AC 130 no longer a loiter and take out the bad guys weapon.
Well, that's not necessary. Ask any fighter pilot.
Yeah.
U.S. Air Force. God love them.
That's why the A-10 is going away.
Yeah.
Well, they keep saying the A-10 is going away, and then they keep getting told it's not. If they have to have dedicated close air support. That's
Now the F-35 will do everything.
no, it won't.
No, it won't.
F-35
Well,
will do everything. Ask the Air Force.
Airland battle doctrine, which I assume we're still doing airland battle doctrine, requires close air support.
Yeah. Well, but you've also got to look at which service it is and which one is giving you the definition of close air support.
Right.
Navy Marine Corps means you're far enough down in the weeds that the Marines that you're protecting can see what color your eyes are. The Air Force version of close air support is they can see that you're in an airplane.
Well,
And if they look up high enough.
the Key West Accords were stupid, need to go away.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, if the Air Force doesn't want to do close air support, and it seems to me more and more they don't want to do close air support, then they need to take their close air support capability and give it back to the Army.
Yeah.
I mean, just grab the personnel, give the equipment and the personnel back to the Army and let them do, because close air support in the modern airline battle doctrine, close air support is required.
Yeah.
You've got to have it. And bless their hearts, the Apaches and Cobras do their best. They really do. But there's just no
And Kiowas. Don't forget the Kiowas.
Kiowas. There's just no replacement for displacement. You're not going to have an AH-64 Apache that can carry the same stuff as an A-10.
No. Although I still do remember a friend of mine's story from when he was over there. Oh, this was back early in the 2000s. He went in as the XO of a squadron, F-18 squadron. They were tasked to go up and take care of some issues. And they had a mixed four ship. So they had 2 turkeys and 2 F-18s. And they got up there and found 15 or 16 tanks lagered up in revetments. And they got all but one of them because the laser failed to guide. And they heard this voice come over, obviously a helicopter. Did you guys leave anything? And they went, yeah, we left one. And they watched this. He said he flipped on IR and watched this Kiowa chug up to the back of the revetment, pop up. Yep, there's a tank sitting there that's not destroyed. Went around to the front, turned, and shot the sucker in the face. And he goes, fucking Army. Nobody but the Army would do that. Anybody else with any sense would go thud from behind. The Army? No, they got to go around and hit him from the front.
They want to make sure they recognize them.
Yeah.
But
Well, folks, we've wasted another hour of your
Oh.
time today.
and no trolls. Yay.
Yeah.
No trolls.
Fucking done.
Thank you for sticking with us today. And
If you want to be able, if you are on here and you found you can't comment, subscribe and
Yeah.
you can comment next episode.
yeah. And yeah. Thankfully, we had no trolls today.
Hit like and subscribe if you want to. If you want to be able to comment, you have to be subscribed for an hour.
Yeah.
So the way Jim set it up is, if you're a newbie, your first episode you can't comment. The next episode you can.
Yeah. So y'all remember, just don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. Have fun and be safe, folks.
Y'all be safe. All right.
And we will see you next Thursday. Or see
Thursday.
you Thursday.
See you Thursday.
Bye.